Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining the live stream. We are so excited to be talking about the KeyBank Gran Fondo coming up this month, Saturday, June 21st in downtown Grand Rapids. And we are so excited to preview this event, talking to one organizer, one participant. We got John Conklin. He is the event director for KeyBank for the Gran Fondo. And he also works for Tries for Health. There's all kinds of fun events around the state. And we got Al Kozlowski. He is a research scientist here at Mary Free Bed, and he's been a longtime participant of the Gran Fondo, and he's going to be talking to us about that a little bit. So, John, for people who don't know, like, what is a Gran Fondo, and what is this awesome event for all ages and abilities here in Grand Rapids?
So, Gran Fondo basically translates to big ride in Italian. It's a huge road cycling event, and the KeyBank Gran Fondo is literally that. It's Michigan's biggest road cycling event. It's right here in West Michigan. We have a downtown Grand Rapids start and finish. And then we've got routes that go all the way to the lakeshore and back, and then shorter routes down to even like a 12-mile family ride. So we literally have distances for all level of riders, a huge after party. It's just really a tremendous community ride, and we are just thrilled to be just a few weeks away.
Yeah, and so Al, this is not just like a race. This is a ride and an event. How cool is this? You've been doing this for many years, right?
Yeah, so I've been cycling for more than 40 years, and I think I've done 6 or 7 of the fondos since I moved here in 2016. And one of the coolest things about this event is for those people who are riding, it's only a race in your head.
Yeah.
There's a small group of elite riders at the front of the 80-mile route who make it a race, but for everybody else, it's what you make of it. You can ride it on your own. You can ride it with a group of friends. And it's just a really fun event, regardless which distance that you ride.
Yeah. And so why don't you, John, walk us through some of the distances you kind of listed at the beginning, but it is not just those elite athletes that are doing these 80 or 40, but tell me about all the different options that there are for people.
Right. So we'll start with the longest distance and kind of work backwards. So we do have the 80-mile distance. That's kind of the big one for this. That goes all literally to Lakeshore and back. You can see the map there. It's really quite a distance. You get to the beach. We have a great rest stop out there. You can get photos, take a break, and then start making your way back to GR. And then we have a 40-mile course, which is, it doesn't quite get to the lakeshore and back, but it's definitely a challenging ride and definitely attracts a little bit more experienced rider. And then we start working down. We have a 25-mile ride, which really kind of dips into more of your casual rider, or maybe that experienced rider that just hasn't been out on their bike a lot, depending on the weather and kind of the spring. That's a little bit more casual. That makes a nice loop. You can kind of see through Walker there and then back to downtown Grand Rapids. And then we have that 12-mile family ride, which this year is sponsored by the YMCA of Grand Rapids. That is just a wonderful, almost completely trail system ride for families. We will have parents pulling kids in burlies. We will have little kids, on their little bikes. We'll have grandparents out there. Just a really, really fun piece for just super casual riders, families. So you can kind of see, because of all of these routes, we literally do attract those elites that Al mentioned that are, they're at the tip of the spear of this ride. They are racing this thing all the way down to kids, in burlies behind their parents. So I can't think of a better community ride that really has such a vast amount of different skill levels in it.
I've heard too, for people that ride this, like, you are making friends as you go, you're riding, you're chatting. And because of these rest stops where people are stopping to get food and stuff, like, tell me about those and how it's such a community feel and just that fun event for people.
Right. So this really has been called more of a rolling buffet. The rest stops are not, your typical, here's a banana, here's, a granola bar, here's some water. We have got hot sandwiches, we've got breakfast sandwiches. We had breakfast burritos last year. We'll have ice cream at one of the rest stops this year. Like pickles and pretzel bites. We will have the fruit and all the other things too that you would typically expect, but we'll even have a slushy machine, I believe, out at the 80 mile. So you stop and you hang out and you get some great food. Then you chit chat, on the way to the next one and do the same thing. And by the time you get back to the party, you're already probably pretty full. And then we've got a huge post race party after this with catered food, and we'll get into that, I'm sure.
Yeah, tell me about that for sure, because I want to hear about that. Because I had no idea. Last year was my first year coming. I had no idea how fun this party was, and that's the thing that's like, you want to lead with that sometimes, like, come have this fun party. And, oh yeah, there's going to be some cycling. Tell me about that, like why people need to come down for this.
Right. So, people do come for the ride, but they absolutely stay for the party. We shut down an entire city block, basically in front of Van Andel Arena. You can see the video there kind of showed we've got tents erected all over the place. We have catered food by Gilmore Catering. So we'll have 3 catered stations this year with all variety of hot meals, really top quality food. We'll have craft beer, live music. It's such an awesome atmosphere and such a reward for getting out there, getting the ride done, in a lot of cases fundraising for you guys. It's just the capstone to this whole thing. People just love that after party. In fact, some people sign up for the 80 and then end up dropping down to the 40 so they can get to the party sooner and really partake in all of that. It's just a tremendous post-race party that you're not going to find elsewhere.
Yeah. So Al, how cool is that? I mean, you've been there, you've been to all these years. Tell me how much fun that party is, and hanging out and kind of that celebrating you crossing the finish line with your other fellow riders.
Yeah, the finish line party is definitely one of the reasons to do the ride. It's a blast. In the past, I've done both the 80 mile and the 40 mile routes. Last year, I was planning to do the 80, but we had a heat wave in the week leading up to the event day. And the morning of, I decided this is supposed to be fun. And I wanted to make sure I got back in shape to enjoy the finish line party. So I downgraded to the 40 mile. Had a really good ride, and spent the rest of the afternoon watching people I know come in and having a beer and enjoying the food and the company of the people who'd finished the ride.
So John, there's a big why to this event that goes beyond just the race and the fun. There's this community fundraising. Tell me about that.
Right. So the DNA of this event is really the charity component of it and being able to raise funds for a worthy West Michigan cause. That's why we're so thrilled to partner with Mary Free Bed. We've got some great incentives that when you sign up and register, you can also become a fundraiser, and you can, depending on how much you fundraise, you'll kind of earn all of these incentives along the way. And you can see, great things from the neck gaiter all the way up to a really nice Yeti, cycling jersey, cap, socks. We've given away a variety of items through the years. And then in addition to this, our top fundraisers then can earn these really, really great trips. Trips to the Hincapie in Gran Fondo in Greenville, bikes, hotel stays, Core Life for a year. I mean, there's just so many different things. So those top fundraisers will then have their choice from the number one all the way on down until we're out of prizes. So really, it's an incentive to get people to ride for more. Last year, we were absolutely thrilled to be able to raise just over $81,000 for Mary Free Bed. That was a really great number. The number so far this year is definitely ticking up there. So we're hoping we can match or exceed that. And then going forward, that's really our focus.
Yeah. And it's so exciting too, is that this, we're doing the fundraising, but it's also going towards certain parts of the hospital. So when you fundraise through this event, you're supporting our Mary Free Bed Kids program. You're also supporting Mary Free Bed Wheelchair Sports. And so like our wheelchair camp and the different teams and clinics that are there, also supporting our recreational therapy. So some great organization that the funds are going towards. So John, besides the riding the event and fundraising, there's also another way that the event really needs some support is through volunteers. Tell me how important volunteering is for this and some of the different ways that people can get involved.
Without volunteers, we couldn't pull an event off like this. We literally need people from the rest stops, from here to the lakeshore, to the finish line, to the setup and breakdown. There's just so many different pieces of this that require community support for a community event. So there's lots of ways to get involved. If you don't want to ride, come down, be around it, support the riders. You can go to KeyBank Gran Fondo.com. There's volunteer links on there, and very easy to sign up, and it shows what the needs are and time frames and everything. Plus, you'll get a great ticket and beer ticket as well if you're of age to kind of partake once your shift is over.
Awesome. So, Al, as we wrap up this interview, one more sell. Why should people come and get involved in the Gran Fondo, whether they want to ride, fundraise, or volunteer?
Yeah, I think one of the neat things about this event is there are many different ways to participate. Definitely riding is something that I enjoy, but even the 12-mile ride, there are some people who don't want to get on a bike, but they can still come down to the party and enjoy it. But as John said, you can also contribute by volunteer, putting in a few hours to help out in one of the volunteer stations. And then you can contribute through fundraising, which is actually much easier to do than you might think. I'm not very good at high pressure sales, and my strategy is just to send out an innocuous email to my friends and give them the option to fundraise, to contribute or not. And I think the other thing for people to think about is you don't have to contribute a lot. I'll stop short of saying any amount is helpful, because there is a cost to processing a donation online. But if 5 people contribute $20 that wouldn't have otherwise done so, there's another $100 towards the goal. Which I can't remember, John, if you mentioned this year that we've set a target of 125,000. So it's a lofty target,
big lofty target we're shooting
for. And a lot of small donations would go a long way to making that work. So low pressure. It doesn't have to be a high pressure tactic. Nobody wants their friends and family turning the screws on you. You don't need to do that. Simple ask. Many people are willing to chip in what they can, and you might be surprised. You might find you've got some friends with deep pockets that you didn't know how deep their pockets were. You don't know until you ask.
Yeah.
To piggyback off that real quick, Chris, we should mention that the funds are going towards Mary Free Bed Kids, which is rehabilitation right here. It's also going toward wheelchair and adaptive sports, and then recreational therapy. So the fundraised money is literally helping folks in need in West Michigan. So you can't get much more local than that. So that's a piece that we're super proud of, that the funds are staying here and they're helping families right here.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, John, last thing, how can people find out more information? Where can they go to ride, to register, to volunteer, or to fundraise?
So very simply, go to KeyBankGranFondo.com. That's Gran, Gran, not grand. So KeyBankGranFondo.com. You can find us on Facebook. From there, registration links are all over the place. Very simple to register, very simple to volunteer. And then once you register, it's a one-click button to set yourself up as a fundraiser. So the event is a few weeks away. Definitely time to get involved. And we are hoping to see as many people out there as possible this year, as this thing is back and is growing year after year.
Awesome. Everybody, thank you so much, Al and John, for joining us in this conversation. Thank you so much for watching, and stay well.